James, I want to play now two bits that we thought were strong moments in the debate for either candidate. One, the abortion rights comments by Kamala Harris. Let's hear that first of all. And then Donald Trump in how the assassination attempt, the near miss on him, unfolded, and he was blaming the Democrats. Two forceful moments in the debate. Have a look.
Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what that means. A survivor of a crime of violation to their body does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral. And one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body.
This is the one that weaponized, not me. She weaponized. I probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that they say about me. They talk about democracy. I'm a threat to democracy. They're the threat to democracy with a fake Russia investigation that went nowhere.
James, yeah, two potent moments there, I thought. And the other thing I wanted to put to you and get your analysis on, one, the preparation from Harris was so clear. I know it's been for a few weeks, day in, day out, they've been prepping, and as Kosha rightly points out, bringing in experts from LA and elsewhere, but you could see the prep being done. But when Trump nailed the message like there, or in the closing remarks, I thought he cut through really well. There was a strong cut through, certainly you would think, to a lot of independent voters, where he says, what have they been doing for 3.5 years? You're promising this stuff, but you're there now.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that Trump should have gone harder on tying Harris to Joe Biden. I mean, I think he could have called her Vice President Harris every single time he spoke to remind people she has been in this administration for 3.5 years. The idea that she's running on as the change candidate is, it's completely laughable and ridiculous. As far as the preparation goes, I think there's a certain point, Kieran, where some of those set-piece lines start to look so rehearsed and so fake that people go, oh, come on, this feels like, it's a set-piece sort of thing. We heard for weeks now, those of us who follow these things, we heard for weeks that she was going to do the whole prosecutor thing, And so this is like a set-piece line. This is like Jimmy Buffett getting up and singing Margaritaville. Everybody knows it's coming, and they go, yay! But, that's all this was here. It was just a bunch of set-piece lines. I think what happened here was that Trump, in the heat of the moment, just got too caught up in trying to respond to the points as they were coming, rather than stick to a disciplined set of messages that he had. And so he came off looking, I think, too negative. And for independents looking one way or the other, that negativity, let's be frank, people want positivity. Now, even though there's no substance behind Harris's positivity, like she's just basically cut and paste her policies from the old Biden website, literally, and dropped them on her page finally, and nobody believes them. People do like that positive message. So this is going to be some of that challenge here. That said, the race seems to be running back in Trump's direction. I don't know how much difference this makes.
Kosha, in terms of the preparation that was clearly done, so much detail that they've basically done the mock debate, checking every sort of thing that Trump could put to Harris. But there were the questions that were asked by the moderators, and often Harris wouldn't even try to answer the question directly. She would hit her key points. And I've got to say, she did effectively, but not really answer the question. She would go straight to her points. She hit a lot of them.
Yes, I think in the modern media era that we live in, these debates have long ceased to be about detailed policy prescriptions and fleshing out those discussions. This is not the era of Lincoln and Douglas, for example. We're well past that. And it really is all about seizing the airtime, getting your soundbite in, getting the optics that you want to have show through. And then in the days and weeks that'll follow between now and the 60 days left that we have to the election, it's all going to get chopped up and amplified on the internet and repurposed for different narratives. And we'll see how that all fleshes out in a race where the polls are so tight in a virtual tie. So I think she understands that and understood that. And all of that prep was clearly about that you're going to get your 3 minutes for every question. weave it into whatever soundbite you want to make sure that you hit and move on from there. And from that perspective, it was broadly a tie, as I say, but she did succeed in using her hair time to her advantage, I would say, and it's going to generate different clips that are going to help her. There were a couple, I think, the visuals where she didn't do quite well that we discussed, and I think specifically the Israel-Gaza issue was one where she got boxed in a little bit, and that is a tricky one for her with her base. And I think the other side will make hay of that. But other than that, I think her strategy seems to have been the right one for her.
And as you and James rightly point out, now there's a question mark. How does this feed in? So the campaigning, less than 2 months to go. Great to see you both. Kosher, James, thanks.